enterprise collectively survive and prosper. And it's my job and my commitment to make sure we do preserve and protect the independence and make sure that collaboration happens to help us survive. So again, thank you. I look forward to working with all of you. I am very reachable. You can email me, you can call me. I will warn you in advance, I don't type very well, so when I say let's talk, yes or no, and you've sent me this wonderful 3-page treatise, it's because I can't type back. So yes, no, let's talk. And I have had the good fortune of my career to work in different things. I worked in the investment world, started my own firm, traveled around the world as we built that business. I've worked in government in 2 different stints. I was deputy mayor in Los Angeles. I worked in the Clinton administration in Russia. And it's on that Russia thing, I'll just make one last comment. I'm not a criminologist, though. So take what I say sort of at face value. That's the type of person I am. I assume all of you, we can have that kind of open, direct conversation. Don't read more into what I've said today than what I've said. And don't assume, since we didn't talk about it, we shouldn't have, because maybe you didn't ask the question or I forgot to mention it. So this will be the first of many open conversations we'll have. And I really, really want your feedback. I want to listen first, learn why you've been successful, and learn how we can help. And off that, I think we're going to have a lot of fun and make a real difference and remain that civic conscience for San Diego. Thank you.
Okay, guys, thank you very much. Well done, Austin. Our original program had Austin visiting the sales floor and the news floor, and then meeting with IT, digital, and circulation. We'll get to that in a coming week. And with that, I think we're done. Is there?
Are you saying that comment for like be announced in terms of potential staff changes or reassignments until the closing in about a month? Nothing will happen until then, for sure. It's still Mr. Manchester's business. He's kind enough to allow me to talk to you because I really wanted for you to hear it from me first and answer questions before you read about it on the internet, and I apologize for that. But that's why I'm here. But from now until it closes, you'll see me and some of my colleagues in the halls, and we'll be delighted to answer questions and inform you when we can, but it's not ours to make any change. So anything that happens between now and closing, talk to Jeff, talk to Mr. Manchester, because we're not in charge. As soon as we can after it closes, we'll start to share when we have something to share. This will take some time. Again, never before 2 institutions of this scale, this quality have been combined. You've had the big sibling take over the little one. You've had sibling rivalries. Boy, the Tribune Times Mirror stuff. There's no one around from that combination, but they still fight. It's shocking to me, but it still happens. So I don't want that to occur. I want everyone coming in and saying, we got a good thing here, a really good thing. How do we make it better together? And that's going to take some time. We're going to be deliberate about it. So don't look for a raft of announcements the day we close, but until then you won't hear much, and I apologize for that in advance. Sir?
You're talking about a partnership between LA and San Diego, and how does this fit into the bigger Tribune story? Is that going to remain part of the Tribune? Is it going to be sold off to somebody else, or what do you imagine will happen?
The question is, San Diego and LA together, how does that fit to the broader Tribune? Well, Tribune's strategy is to build on its regional strength. They have bought Suburbans contiguous to the Baltimore Sun. They bought Suburbans contiguous to the Chicago Tribune. This is the first and biggest attempt to combine 2 metros. We will continue to be a very important part of the Tribune enterprise and the Tribune story. And that's probably about as far as I can take you. I'm not aware of any conversations beyond that, but we're obviously a very important part of Tribune today, and this combination will make us an even more important. Okay.
Does the purchase include the UT Community Press newspapers also?
Does the purchase include the UT Community Press newspapers? Yes, it includes everything but the cars, the building. And I guess some of the pictures upstairs. Everything else. Everything else comes with the Sure. Is it financed or where does the money come from? Yes, it is financed. The money comes from both cash in the Tribune balance sheet and additional borrowed monies, but the deal's financed and it will close. For those who are not aware, Tribune is a public company, so has pretty good access to debt markets, equity markets, and so on and so forth. And as a reporting matter, everything we're doing here, I guess this is an open conversation, but everything about the transaction is all going to be up on the website and SEC filings and everything else. Ma'am?
What do you see as the future for UTTV?
What do I see as the future for UTTV? It's a good question. I don't have a crystal ball. I can see video being a more important part of our storytellers, especially as we get to those communities of interest. But I think the form of storytelling, we need to adapt to how customers are looking at things. And I'll give you an example that's always struck with me, and I think is a big opportunity for newspapers. So I don't know how many in this room are fans of college basketball or follow the sport or anything like it, but there's an incident at Rutgers going back either a year or 2 years ago now, when a basketball coach, there's 6 or 7 seconds of video of the Rutgers basketball coach acting in a horrific manner. Went up on ESPN. Within a day, the coach was fired, took the governor of New Jersey to keep the president of Rutgers in his job. That's how most people know the story. And I know the story before that. About 4 months before, that same story was in a newspaper. And I don't know Rutgers, if it's Trenton, Camden, Newark, I'm not sure which of the newspapers. But that story was in a newspaper. The headline said, "Coach suspended 3 games, fined $50,000. And somewhere between sports 5 and 6 page, people flipped through it because it wasn't the Giants. I don't know, whatever New York or whatever New Jersey sports fans look at. But I'm guessing that video wound up on ESPN only because the source for that first story didn't see a result. Right? Sometimes things don't punch through in print the same way they might seeing the video. And if you go reread the story, it chronicles the video very well. That's not the same call to action video was. You think about the great opportunity in linear TV. Where's the last bastion of linear TV? It's that half-hour news show, local news. Now, they have to cash it for 12 or 5 o'clock because that's the cume they deliver to their advertisers. But there aren't too many people who sit now on the sofa and watch all 29 minutes. You know, it's so predictable. First 2 minutes, a car chase or a wildfire, or sports at 7 minutes, weather, they keep you hanging to the 29th minute. If you look at the skills and strengths in this room, Los Angeles Times newsroom the same, we could do that better. So you want a daily dose of a minute of the Chargers, I'm guessing there's better talent in this room than any of the local TV stations. You want a daily dose of politics in California, there's better talent in this room than that local TV news station. We're going to journey around the nation for Emerging Us and talk about stories of diversity and multiculturalism, not just in Los Angeles or California, but around the nation. That's a different type of video. So UTTV and the ability to tell those stories, I think, is going to be an important part of our overall story. I'm not as conversant in exactly what's being done today, but I can see opportunities to pull video into what we do, maybe in some more non-traditional ways than it's been done historically.